So you want to be a published author? Let's talk about some steps to get you there. Both of the books I've published have been with O'Reilly, but the information I'm sharing in this video is also applicable for most other publishers. The first step is to do the math. Is there a small or a large audience of people who are interested in the topic? While it's possible to get a book deal to write about an obscure programming language, it's much more likely the publisher would be interested in committing resources to a project where there are significantly more people who might be interested in buying the book. Publishers recognize there will most likely be other books published about the same or a similar topic. So you'll need to have researched what other books about the same topic are available. And of course, be ready to explain how your book will be different from or better than the other books. The next step is to prepare a tasty sample, so the publisher has an idea of what the finished product could be if they agree to work with you. At a minimum, you'll need to prepare a full outline of the book. This helps to illustrate how your book would be different from or better than books that already exist. If you've written other books or articles, be ready to supply a link to those writing samples. If you don't have any published writing samples, you might want to consider self-publishing a few articles on medium.com. Lots of bonus points if you have a sample chapter or two of the book that you've already completed. The last step is just as important as the other two steps. You'll need to be a recognized expert in your field. That may be evidenced by certifications or number of years that you've worked in a certain field. Potential readers will need to feel certain that you're an expert. Being well connected in the community, as evidenced by a large social media presence, is a favorable metric for publishers. While publishers will advertise your book in a variety of ways, they'll also rely on you to help promote the book. Whatever the size of your social media presence, it should show that you're someone who has a good reputation and also be someone other people want to work with. Publishers invest a lot of time working with an author, and they're looking for someone who has a reputation for being a good team player. So you've checked all three blocks for the first steps. You're an expert in your field, you've done the math, and you've prepared an outline and a writing sample. So what's next? First, you'll need to recognize that there are differences among publishers. For one thing, some publishers expect the book to go into production more quickly than others, so there could be a compressed time schedule. Some publishers will do more things for you, like formatting and redrawing figures, and others have an expectation that you'll do more of the work. Make sure you've thought carefully about the expectations for an author from different publishers. It could be very helpful to talk to a published author that is successfully authored for a particular publisher that you've been thinking of approaching. That way you'll have a better idea of what the process is actually like. And you'll also want to think about any personal commitments that might be impacted by committing to work with a publisher. If you have a spouse or a partner, make sure you've considered how the extra time needed to write a book will affect them. And you may need to get approval from your employer to engage in outside work activities before you sign a contract with a publisher. If your goal is to be a published author, getting a signed contract with a publisher is a really exciting moment and one you should celebrate. Best of luck to you. You can find me on LinkedIn and on the O'Reilly Learning platform, as well as on YouTube.